When I was a kid, we lived on the East Coast, and there was a show on TV called Draw Along with John Nagy. Did you ever hear of it? Nagy, it was spelled G-N-A-G-Y, Nagy. Draw Along with John Nagy. Or maybe it was N-A-G-Y. But it was a television show. It was very popular. And John would draw stuff on TV, and you draw along with him. And my parents bought me a Draw Along with John Nagy kit. And you could actually draw in the kit while you're watching TV and work on drawings with John. And it was all very rudimentary. And I ecstatically enjoyed it. And my parents noticed this. And from then on, I drew constantly. And when I was 8 years old, I told my parents that I'd like to learn how to paint. And so they took me to Ridgewood, New Jersey, to study with the then unknown noted artist Helen Van Wyck. She was a vibrant young woman back in the late 50s. And unknown, she proceeded to become quite famous at her own television show. But I took my first painting lessons with Helen Van Wyck back in Ridgewood, New Jersey, and I guess it was 1960, 1961. We moved to Ohio, and when I was 12 years old, I started studying painting and drawing with the noted watercolorist Walter Chapman. And Walter is alive today. Walter's 98 years old, and he's still doing portraits. And he's the best watercolorist that I know. He's a superb watercolorist, very well known throughout the United States as a watercolorist. And I studied with him in his studio using draped live models from the time I was 12 to the time I was 18. So I worked from live models in an atelier environment with Walter. And Walter really taught me most of what I know about drawing and painting the figure, because he was trained at the Art Students League, and he was a noted illustrator during World War II, and he was the inventor of Captain Midnight, a very popular cartoon strip in the 40s and 50s, and the guy can really draw, So I learned how to draw from Walter. And then I went to Notre Dame University, and I studied with the noted painter and printmaker Douglas Kinsey, and the noted painter and printmaker Don Vogel. I studied with Don Vogel and Doug Kinsey. It was a great environment. It was a tremendous opportunity, because at that time Notre Dame University had built a new athletic and convocation center. So in the 70s, the university gave the old athletic field house to the art department. And it had a full indoor dirt track and a basketball court in there where they televised games from. And the basketball court was right out in the middle of the dirt track, an indoor dirt track, one of the first in the United States. And they gave this to the art department. So my studio was up in the boxing room, and there were studios down in the fencing room, and the old locker rooms became the print shop. Handball courts became painting studios, and it was an incredible, incredible environment to be an artist in. And an extraordinary group of people went through Notre Dame in the 70s and graduated. Most of us graduated. There was 26 of us that graduated from Notre Dame in 1977. And it was an extraordinary group of people, probably the greatest bunch of artists that ever went through there. And we were all graduates of the field house. And the field house is now long gone. They tore it down finally because it was decrepit. It needed a roof. And they weren't going to spend $1 million on it, put a roof on it, so they tore it down. But it was probably the best time ever to go to Notre Dame and be an art student there because of the field house. It was wonderful. It was extraordinary. And then I went on to the University of Kansas, and I got a master's degree there, and I taught there most of the time I was there. I taught drawing, and then moved to Texas. I've been here ever since.